Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Zohar reading for world peace. My name's Albert. I'll be your instructor, your reader, narrator, however you want to call it, for today. Very excited to be here. I see there's a lot of friends that joined us from all over the world. Let's see just really quickly who is with us. Sylvie's writing greetings from the Netherlands. Carl's writing greetings from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Julie's writing greetings from Salt Lake. Dewey's writing hello from Alabama. Elizabeth is writing greetings from the Netherlands. Sean's writing love and peace from Melbourne, Australia. Victoria's writing shalom from Seattle. And is that Michael, sorry, from San Francisco, and Tom Davidas, and many, many more friends. Welcome, everyone. Before we begin today's reading, we're going to watch a little clip from our teacher, Dr. Laitman, which will hopefully get us into this mind set to help us to set the intention for this Zohar reading. Here we go.
When a child grows up, it takes years, which means months and weeks and days and hours and minutes and moments of gradual growth. This is how it is. It takes time. We think that entering the spiritual world is something that happens in a flash. The 20 years that we spend growing up in this world, not in order to change our nature, but just to match ourselves to this reality, which is really worthless and formless compared to spirituality. This is something we agree with, because we see that this is reality. It's impossible otherwise. But with spirituality, we think, where's the entrance? Let me in. There is a law of equivalence of form. Once you know how to use spirituality correctly, you'll be let in. You have to go through these preparations, and the Book of Zohar is here to match you to spirituality in a faster, more comfortable way. If not, you'll have to suffer to get there.
A beautiful clip of how the Book of Zohar helps us to match us to spirituality, and afterwards we'll be let in. As we know, spirituality is acquiring the qualities of love and bestowal. This is what we want to focus on. We want to focus our intention specifically in those qualities, meaning that we're here. We don't want to use this reading for some kind of a personal gain, but we want to use it in order to do something for others. And the others that we're focusing on today is the whole world. That we want through this reading for the whole world to benefit, for it to bring people closer together and take another step towards that state called world peace. So let's take 20 seconds. We're going to orient ourselves in that direction, really set our intentions, and then we'll begin today's reading. And today we're reading from the vision of Rabbi Hiya. "49. Rabbi Hiya fell to the ground, kissed the ground, and wept. He said, 'Dust, dust, how obstinate you are, how insolent. All that is coveted by the eye withers in you. All the pillars of light in the world you consume and grind. How impudent you are.' Rabbi Shimon, who was illuminating the world, the great ruler, the appointee over the world, whose merit sustains the world, is withering in you. Rabbi Shimon, the light of the light of the world, you wither in the dust, and you exist and lead the world." He wondered for a moment and said, "Dust, dust, do not be proud, for the pillars of the world will not be given to you, since Rabbi Shimon is not withering in you." We should thoroughly understand the meaning of Rabbi Hiya's vow. The primary engagement of Rabbi Hiya and Rabbi Yossi as they were walking along the way together was in that blocked gate, Malchut of Malchut, which receives none of those upper mochin in the 6,000 years prior to the end of correction. Rabbi Yossi replied to Rabbi Hiya in the name of Rabbi Shimon that this gate stayed blocked indeed, and all the wholeness is only in the key. This is what troubled them so. Finally, Rabbi Hiya came to a great awakening. Rabbi Hiya fell to the ground, kissed the ground, and wept. He said, "Dust, dust, how obstinate you are." He also said, "How insolent you are. All that is coveted by the eye withers in you. Since through the sin of Adam Harishon, all the souls departed him and were taken captive by the shells, who included all the souls in the world. In his repentance, Adam Harishon corrected only his own part, and even that, not completely. Past him, the souls are sorted each generation through repentance and good deeds until the end of correction. It follows that all those high souls from Yehidah and Garv Haya depend on the sorting and mating on the Malchut of Malchut, the blocked gate that has neither sorting nor mating. Thus, all those souls wither in the dust, which are the shells, as it is written, "And behold, the tears of the oppressed, and they have no one to comfort them." It is so because the shell of the dust governs them with insolence and abstinence, sure for strength that there is no one who can save them from her hand. This is what Rabbi Hiya cried over and said to the dust, to the shells, "How obstinate you are, how insolent. All that is coveted by the eye withers in you, since all those highest of souls who are coveted by the eye rot in you, hopeless of being delivered from your hand. All the pillars of light in the world you consume and grind. All the righteous in the world who illuminate the world are lacking in completeness, too, due to the captivity of those high souls, since all the souls are included in one another. Therefore follows that they, too, are consumed and ground by the insolence of this dust. And Rabbi Shimon is not withering in you." First, he wished to say that Rabbi Shimon, too, was withering in this dust, since he heard from Rabbi Shimon that he, too, agreed that this gate was blocked and was not to be disclosed. Afterwards, he wondered and said, "Since Rabbi Shimon, the holy light, sustains and leads the worlds, how is it possible that he is not whole in his full completeness?" After that, he wondered for a moment, meaning reconciled, and said that indeed Rabbi Shimon is not withering in you, since he is certainly in complete wholeness, but he could not understand that possibility. Item 50. Rabbi Hiya rose and was walking and crying, and Rabbi Yossi was with him. He fasted 40 days since that day to see Rabbi Shimon. He was told, "You are unworthy of seeing him." He wept and fasted 40 more. He was shown Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Elazar, his son, in a vision, engaged in this thing that Rabbi Yossi said in the name of Rabbi Shimon, and several thousands were listening to his words. In his agony for the beauty that is withered in the ground, he craved to see Rabbi Shimon's degree because he had decided that Rabbi Shimon did not wither in the ground. 51. In the meantime, he saw several large and high wings with Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Elazar atop them, rising to the seminary of the firmament. And all those wings were awaiting them. He saw that Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Elazar were renewed in their brightness and illuminated more than the light of the brightness of the sun. The upper seminary is the seminary of the Creator, and the seminary of the firmament is a seminary of Matat. Wings are the angels that assist the souls in raising them from degree to degree. And as the soul needs the assistance of the wings for the ascension, it needs their assistance in bringing her back to her place. And all those wings were awaiting them to bring them back. He saw them returning from the seminary of the firmament to their place, to the seminary of Rabbi Shimon. They were renewed with the brightness of the light of their faces, and they illuminated more than the light of the sun. 52. Rabbi Shimon opened and said, "Let Rabbi Hiya in so he may see how much the Creator will renew the faces of the righteous in the next world. Happy is he who comes here without shame, and happy is he who stands in that world as a pillar who is strong in everything." Rabbi Hiya saw himself entering, and Rabbi Hiya rose, and so did the rest of the pillars of the world who were seated there. They rose before Rabbi Hiya, and he, Rabbi Hiya, was ashamed and entered. He drooped himself and sat at Rabbi Shimon's feet. Rabbi Shimon hinted to him, "Happy is he who comes here without shame." He also saw Rabbi Elazar and the rest of the pillars of the world that they were without shame. But Rabbi Hiya himself was ashamed because he withered in the dust and did not have the strength to overcome them. He was ashamed and went in, drooped himself, and sat at Rabbi Shimon's feet. 53. A voice came out and said, "Lower your eyes, do not raise your head, and do not look." He lowered his eyes and saw a light that was shining far. The voice returned as before and said, "The hidden and the blocked upper ones, whose eyes are open, who roam the entire world, look and see. Sleeping lower ones, whose light of the eyes is blocked in the holes of your eyes, awaken." After he obeyed, lowering his eyes and not raising his head, he was rewarded with hearing this herald, for which he obtained all that he sought. The hidden and the blocked upper ones, whose eyes are open, who roam the entire world, look and see. Sleeping lower ones, whose light of the eyes is blocked in the holes of your eyes, awaken. The herald awakened those souls that obeyed the words of Rabbi Shimon. Those who were there and those who were not there. The herald went out to all the souls of the righteous and divided them into two classes. One, holy upper ones, who are hidden and blocked, who were rewarded with opening of the eyes and with roaming the entire world. He called upon them to look and see, to extend the upper lights together as one with the second class. Two, all those camps that go and are expelled from the Creator and His Shekhinah, go and are expelled from His Shekhinah. He calls them lower ones, sleeping, whose light of their eyes is blocked in the holes of the eyes. He called upon them to awaken. Okay, we're going to take another minute or two to recalibrate ourselves. We'll do so with a clip of Laitman. Here we go.
While reading the Zohar, you are in a special relation, proximation with the upper force. The upper force, it's called the innermost force that dwells in the general desire, which is the generality of existence. And then you have the ability to bring yourself closer to Him, to use Him. The using Him is by placing yourself towards Him artificially, where you want Him to do this over you. Suppose a small girl dresses like a queen. She wants to be a queen, so she dresses as a queen. And then that force works on her and makes her into a queen. We understand this kind of depiction. Okay, so that's what we have to do. So, if next to this force, which you call Zohar, you want to be rich, in control, in power, to be proud over others, this will be for you the potion of death. If you want to put on good clothing of bestowal and so on, this is what you'll have. So that is it's like this wondrous force. And what you want. You get, of course, there are conditions about it, but all in all, both through all of these bad cases, bad things where a person asks not what's for, not things that are in his favor, then that upper force teaches that person through that and shows him the right path. That's called work through suffering. It's not a neutral force that whatever you want you can get. It is a positive force, meaning that it has a special form of bestowal. If you don't ask for that form, then you get the very opposite, and learn from that. It's better search for the right kind of clothing, the right form. That's called the short and convenient path.
All right, let's take another few seconds. We really want to set our intentions for the light of Zohar to influence us in the best possible way. '54. Who is so wise among you as to turn darkness into light, for whom the bitter taste is sweet even before he comes here, while he's still alive in this world? Who among you awaits the light each day, shining when the king visits the door, at which time the glory of the king increases and he is called the king of all the kings of the world. And one who does not expect it each day, while he is still in this world, has no part here. The herald emphasizes the essential merit that is desirable in each class. 1. To the merit of the first class, he says, which of you turns darkness into light, for whom bitter tastes sweet? These are the souls of Atzilut in Biyah. It is written, God has made them one opposite the other, darkness opposite the light, and bitter opposite sweet. Hence, in the Torah of Biyah, there is fit and there is unfit, pure and impure, forbidden and permitted, holy and secular. But the Torah of Atzilut is entirely the names of the Creator. There's nothing secular there, since there's Laban, the Aramean, is deemed a holy name, and so does Pharaoh. Also, there, all the names that are shells and impurity in Biyah are only holy names, sublime. It follows that those souls that have been rewarded with the light of Atzilut turn every darkness into light and every bitter into sweet. 2. To the merit of the second class, he said, which of you expects each day the light that illuminates while the king visits the dough, at which time the glory of the king increases, and he is called the king of all the kings of the world? It is they who roam after the Shekhinah, who sits alone, and who always awaits for the Creator to raise the Shekhinah from the dust. And one who does not await that each day while he's in this world has no share here. 55. In the meantime, he saw many of the friends around, all the upright pillars standing, and saw that they were being raised to a seminary of the firmament. Some were ascending, and some were descending, and above them all he saw the winged one, Matat, approaching. While the herald was calling, he saw several of the souls of the righteous, who belonged to those two classes, around all the upright pillars, the souls of the righteous who were already in the seminary of Rabbi Shimon. He saw them rising to the seminary of the firmament. Some were ascending and some were descending. The first class ascended and the second class descended, as this is how they assist one another. Following the calling of the herald, who said to the first class, look and see, and to the second class he said, awaken. He saw that by the awakening of all those souls by the two classes together, Matat came down from the seminary to the seminary of Rabbi Shimon and took the oath. And above them all, he saw the winged one approaching and took the oath, since above them means the same as through everyone, and the winged one is Matat. 56. Angel Matat took an oath, which he heard from behind the curtain, that the king visits each day and remembers the dough that is lying in the dust. At that time, he kicks 390 firmaments, and all are startled and frightened of him. And the king sheds tears for the Shekhinah being in the dust. And the tears are as boiling as fire and fall into the great sea. And by the power of those tears that appoint you over the sea, called Rahav, stands and exists and sanctifies the name of the Holy King. He takes upon himself to swallow all the waters of Bereshit, the beginning, Genesis, and gather them into him when all the nations assemble over the holy nation and the waters dry out and pass through land. He takes an oath that the king visits each day and remembers the dough that is lying in the dust, since in the dust she is the holy Shina, although it is not referring to the whole of the Shina, for there was no need to take an oath for that, since it is open to all. Rather, it is referring to Malchut of Malchut, which Rabbi Hiya believed was captive among the shells and was left completely alone. He wept and said, "Dust, dust, how obstinate you are, how insolent! All that is coveted by the eye withers in you. All the pillars of light in the world you consume and grind. For this reason, she is called a dough that is lying in the dust." And here, this great secret was revealed to Rabbi Hiya through Matat when he came to the seminary of Rabbi Shimon, since he took an oath that the king visits and remembers the dough that is lying in the dust each day. But in the same way that Matat gradually elucidates before us. At that time, he kicks 390 firmaments, and all are startled and frightened of him. The coupling by striking of the upper light on the screen is regarded as the upper light kicking the screen, meaning that the upper light kicks and wishes to permeate below the boundary in the screen. The screen, in turn, detains it and reflects the upper light, and this reflection is the reflected light that rises from the screen below upward, clothing the upper light. All right, we are going to stop there. That was quite a reading. We had also a lot of friends joining us from all over the world. Let's see real quick. It's writing shalom from Romania. Jennifer's writing hi from North Carolina. Lilu is writing shalom from France. Tao, shalom from South Africa. Carly's writing hello from California. Frederick's writing hi from Kenya. Annie's writing shalom from Western North Carolina. Francine is writing hello, great friends from Portland, Oregon. Andy's writing hello from West Virginia. Crystal is sending a lot of love. Andreas is writing shalom Havrim. What does Bia mean? So Bia is an acronym for the three worlds. Tzilid Bria Yetzirah Asiyah. So those are the three worlds. By the way, if some of these terms are not familiar with you, or in general, if you haven't gone through our courses, we highly recommend for you to check out the Kabbi courses, where we go through all of these things in great detail. The meanings of those words, what are those worlds, how do we find them, how do we rise to them, all of those things. So if you haven't yet checked out the Kabbi courses, feel free to check them out. What else? We have Mabel Hars writing greetings from Mexico, and many, many more friends. Thank you all for joining us. It was a really great internal reading, and we'll see you again next week.